Hey everyone, Jonny Skywatcher here. So in the last week or so, there's been quite a few developments with the Spider-Man 3 movie, which, well, the old Spider-Man 3, even though it will be directed by... No, it won't be. I'm totally confused now. Especially with this latest news story, it's starting to confuse my brain. So last week, we found out that Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro, and when I talked about it on Thursday, it was just a news story and deadline. But then apparently right after that, Jamie Foxx confirmed it on his Instagram, and even went as far as saying that he won't be blue anymore, which to me says that he probably won't be the same Electro as in the first one. So yeah, that's interesting. And then just recently, the other day, I would say, or what is today? Yeah, yesterday, I think this news story broke. So, Spider-Man 3 might be getting Doctor Strange in some sort of size of role. We don't know. Anyway, Benedict Cumberbatch to reprise Doctor Strange role in next Spider-Man movie. The reason I was saying I was getting confused because Sam Raimi is attached to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I was going to say like, oh, but it's not that Spider-Man 3 that is directed by the same director. But no, it's not. Spider-Man 3 was directed by Sam Raimi, and who's directing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Doctor Strange is going maybe to be in Spider-Man, the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, which is directed by somebody else, the same director as Far From Home in Homecoming, John Watts, I believe. Anyway, that's kind of confusing, but that seems to be the story. Anyway, so I don't think this hasn't been confirmed, unless it's just been confirmed in the last couple of hours. But according to Deadline, Benedict Cumberbatch is in talks to reprise his role of Doctor Strange in Sony and Marvel's next installment of the Spider-Man franchise. Tom Holland is set to return as Peter Parker, with John Watts returning to direct. So, I guess the question is, what sort of role would this be? I think this article goes on to... No, it doesn't say anything. Plot details are under wrap. People are speculating that would it be in the same sort of same kind of role that Tony Stark was in Homecoming, and then his presence was in Far From Home. For me personally, what I would hope is I'm kind of hoping more of a cameo, sort of like Doctor Strange was in Thor Ragnarok. He can maybe help Spidey with something, but not be a huge presence in the movie. That's what I would say would be the best ideal version of it. And I think it could kind of make sense if the Doctor Strange pops up in some of these movies here and there in like a supporting role like that, because that's sort of, I don't know, I don't read the comics really that much, but isn't that kind of what he does in terms of like other characters? And yeah, that's kind of what I would hope for. I kind of hope they don't get too multiverse crazy, because I know a lot of people are speculating that they might bring the other Spider-Man and do like Spider-Verse in this next Spider-Man movie. I kind of hope they're not going that direction. My hope is that Jamie Foxx is just a new version of Electro instead of a Electro from a different universe. I would prefer him just do a new take on Electro. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't really go over that well, and so it'd be nice to kind of give him another shot at the character and do something different, hopefully, because I don't think we want to see that same take on the character, this sort of like nerdy guy, and then like, I don't know, him as the villain Electro was sort of okay, but was sort of bland at the same time, and then him as just being this sort of fan of Spider-Man wasn't that really all that interesting. So I kind of would hope that they just go somewhere new and different with that, and that Doctor Strange appears as in just a scene or two when maybe Peter Parker goes to him for some advice or to get some help with it. But that most of the movie is about Peter Parker handling and dealing with what's happening. The other thing I hope from the last movie that they don't do what happened between Homecoming and Far From Home is just drop the cliffhanger, which, if you don't remember, the ending of Homecoming, Aunt May sees Peter Parker in the Spider-Man suit and finds out he's Spider-Man, and then it's kind of just glossed over. And Far From Home, she's okay with it, and they don't really deal with that fallout. I really hope they don't do that with the J.J. Jameson reveal at the end of Far From Home. It just glossed over it. I think you could sort of gloss over it, but I think you still need to have it be part of the plot or something. I don't want it to be like, oh, you know what? At the beginning of this movie, they cleared it all up. I don't know. Yeah, just because he said it, they the authorities said he's not Spider-Man, and then they just moved on. You know what? No. You need to have something. You don't need to have the whole movie with Peter Parker on the run, like I've seen some people saying. But you need to do something more than that. Anyway, I say anyway way too much. I need to work on that. What do you think about Doctor Strange possibly being in Spider-Man 3? Are you looking forward to it? Or do you think it's too much tie-in? Are you afraid that they're gonna involve the multiverse too much? Or are you want to go full Spider-Verse in this movie? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm gonna move on to the next topic. But if you were watching this in a video by itself, I do this live usually Monday through Friday around 7 p.m.